Nas Daily, or Nusayr, has received somewhat of a media backlash regarding his recent posts on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Long story short, he pretty much didn't talk about the occupation, oppression, or anything of real substance. The gist of his message was, let's all just be friends. Granted, his message was very positive, and if I was someone who didn't know much about what was happening, I'd really like the message. But for people who do know what's happening, it was seen as very tone deaf. So of course, many people did not like this and they called him out on it. Nas Daily replied by saying, guys, this isn't new. I've talked about this before. You know my stance on this. I've made videos about it. And the gist of his message was, if you don't like it, you can leave. I have 30 million plus followers. In other words, I don't need you. Which, by the way, is fair. He has talked about this before. He's made his stance very public about what he thinks of this whole situation. And all his previous videos and posts about Israel and Palestine have always been tone deaf.
It's 6 a.m., but I have finally arrived to my home in Israel. But every time I mention the word Israel or Palestine, I get in trouble in the comment section. There is no Israel, you piece of f***ing. There is no Palestine.
So he's right in the sense of don't be surprised. And look, I know this guy's got 30 plus million followers. I know he's already wealthy and does whatever he wants and whatnot and doesn't need to hear anything I have to say and probably doesn't even care. But I'm gonna say it anyway to anyone who wants to listen. With that being said, I have 3 things to say about this. Number 1, I'll start off by giving credit where credit is due. Quite frankly, his videos are great. Nas Daily has done amazing work. And this is evidenced by his tens of millions of followers. Most of you may know that Nusayr, or Nas Daily, is a Palestinian living in Israel.
I am a Palestinian Israeli.
From that angle, I completely understand his stance. I understand why he doesn't want to talk about the Israeli occupation of Palestine, the oppression of Palestinians, because there's always a high risk that the Israeli government or even people around him will retaliate against him and his family. However, as many people have pointed out to him before, if you are in a position where you are fearful for your physical health and well-being and your health and well-being of your family because of your physical location, if you fear for your safety, we understand, wallah, we get it. In that case, don't say anything at all. And I know in his post he started talking about people being silenced and those who want to talk about peace are being silenced. No, this isn't silencing you. This is me pointing out that you posting a post like this is worse than saying nothing at all. This is worse than being silent because this post excuses all of Israel's crimes against Palestinians. So if you can't say what's right, then just don't say anything at all. Number 2, he says it's not black and white, we need peace, we need to bring solutions to the table. And by the way, I get all these messages in my DMs all the time. All we need is to negotiate peace. Every single person who says that is either 1, truly ignorant, or 2, pretending to be ignorant. Peace is not a condition. Peace is an outcome. In order for peace to be an outcome of negotiations, conditions need to be presented and agreed upon in those negotiations to facilitate peace. For there to be peace, the conditions have always, for decades, they have been as follows. Lift the siege off of Gaza, the siege that has suffocated them through air, land, and sea. Lifting the siege will allow Palestinians to rebuild Gaza from all the destruction from the bombings, allow them to stimulate their economy, allow electricity and clean drinking water. Literally the bare minimum basic human rights. Also, stop the illegal annexation of the West Bank. Stop building illegal settlements, stop the illegal occupation of East Jerusalem, including the forced land theft and home evictions in neighborhoods like Sheikh Jarrah, and the occupation of Al-Aqsa Mosque, Masjid Al-Aqsa, the 3rd holiest site for Muslims. Once these very, very basic conditions, which by the way, all the above activities that Israel has been doing for the past God knows how long are all illegal under international law. Once all of the above, these basic conditions are met, then and only then can anyone even utter the words peace. And by the way, this is not a two-sided conflict. Israel has all the power. All the Palestinian territories are occupied and cannot do a thing. The ball is in Israel's court. They do not want peace. They want to take over all of Palestine. That is the problem. And without these conditions being met, then there's absolutely nothing to negotiate for. And finally, number 3. I know Nas Daily doesn't care about what I have to say, or what anyone else has to say for that matter. There are statistics going around saying that he has 38 million followers and he has lost almost 18 million followers across all social media platforms because of his stance. I don't know if I can believe that or not. It doesn't really matter that much to me. But he himself said, here's my stance, I have over 30 million followers, and if you don't like it, you can leave. So that's cool. Whether this video makes it to him or not, this is for anyone else who's willing to listen. I have a message to everyone who expects things from public figures and celebrities. Don't expect much. You as an individual, we as a people, as a collective, have the power to make the change. We as a people have made a change. World protests have made a change. However small, they have made a change. The world is now paying more attention than it ever has to Palestine. And while yes, there have been many celebrities who have stood up for Palestine and for Palestinian human rights, and they have received a backlash for it, these celebrities need to be acknowledged. Some are rising to the occasion, while others have been quite very disappointing. And even when they did try to rise, they sent a very tone-deaf message that defeated the whole purpose. So, don't expect much from celebrities, but make sure to raise awareness as much as you can and give props to those celebrities who do. And for the rest who don't, or even worse, they support the Israeli occupation, don't lose any sleep over them because, quite frankly, they're not worth your time. In conclusion, Nas Daily, please enjoy your tens of millions of followers. I hope they keep you warm and wealthy. As for the rest of us, we will continue to raise awareness about all of Israel's crimes. We will continue to amplify Palestinian voices, because if you want peace, there has to be some justice. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and share this video. Support me by subscribing to my channel. And until next time, I'm that Muslim guy. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you.